Hey guys, so welcome to my one of my first CML lab videos. Oops. So today we are just going to do basic configurations for an ASA device, and we're going to check connectivity once we're done our configurations, and see if we can reach the outside internet. So I have my ASA device highlighted. Let's open the command line interface. All right. So, let's see if this works. Okay, so sorry guys, let me just exit out of this. All right, I can't remove this. All right. I don't know. Sometimes CML is odd where if CLI window is open or over here too long, it doesn't work. There we go. So from here, we're going to type enable. We're going to put our password in. All right, and from here, let's configure. We only have two interfaces. The interface here leading to the Internet Service Provider routers, and the interface here leading to our internal network, the VLAN 20 local area network. Let's configure the G0/2 interface first. It's very similar to how we would configure switches and routers, with a little bit of uh, variation as well. So Oh, sorry, got line configuration terminal mode. All right, interface G0/2. Uh, a new command that is, as far as I know, exclusive to firewall devices, as far as ASA is concerned, is nameif. And from here, we have to specify whether it's inside, outside, or somewhere in between. So for this scenario, we're configuring G0/2, which leads to the outside network, the outside world. We'll call this one outside. We will see upon doing so, we have security level for outside set to 0 by default. That means everything on the outside will be explicitly denied by the ASA. Nothing can reach the inside unless we configure an ACL later on or VPN or some manner of method to bypass that. So, okay, let's also configure a IP address on this interface. And I have the network here between the router and the ASA device as a public IP. It's going to be 173.16.2. This one, the ASA side is .2. All right. And I'm gonna say no shutdown, so the interface should be in an up uh position. Let's just double check. Looking for 0/2. Looks good. All right. Now we're gonna head on over and get G00 up and running because as you can see, it's down and up. And it's unassigned an IP. So interface G0/0. From here we're gonna say no shut, and uh, we also want to. Okay, so the connection between my ASA device on this network to the switch down here, the switch is connected to the ASA via trunk. So if that's the case, the ASA has to be connected to the trunk via a sub interface. So with the parent interface G00, we're just going to say no shut on that. And then we're going to specify the um, sub interface that we're going to make it .20 just because since our VLAN's VLAN 20, it makes it easy. We want to specify the VLAN it's part of. It's going to be VLAN 20. We want to specify if it's inside or outside. I want to say it's inside. You will see, okay, security level for inside set to 100 by default. That means everything inside of the ASA will be trusted by default. Okay, and now we will configure the IP address. Oh, just a heads up, the ASA is going to serve as the default gateway for everything in VLAN 20. And as you can see, there's only really one device that's going to be one end user device that's going to be part of VLAN 20 at the moment. So IP address is going to be 192.168.2.1, 255.255.255.0, so /24, no shut. Then I'm going to say show interface IP brief. So 192, no, 196, 168.2.1 is up, and we should be good. Now, we also have to configure a default route on the ASA. So for any kind of device in VLAN 20 that wants to speak to anything over the internet, it needs a route there. So in order to do that, we will say route. So as you know, on routers, it would be IP route. For the ASA firewall device, it's going to be just route. And then we put a question mark. Here are our options. We want the last option outside because we were going to say, hey, ASA, send X and Y traffic this way. So outside, this is where we make our default route. So anything to anything. And we are going to say our next hop is the interface of the router connecting to the ASA. So that's going to be 173.16.2.1. And I don't think I need my, okay, yeah, I don't need something. All right. So we have a default route configured. Now, there's a few other things. By default, the ASA will block ICMP messages. So later, when I confirm connectivity, it won't work because my Ubuntu will use ping to try to reach out to over here, and it's not going to do anything because ICMP is currently disabled. To enable that, we'll say policy, not really enable, but to allow the ASA to inspect it. Policy map, we'll say global policy. Okay, what's the next option? Class. Uh, Default. I think default inspection. Okay, guys. I'm gonna have to cheat on that one because I do not ever remember how to enable on a Cisco device that not a Cisco device, but ASA. How do I enable ICMP inspection on ASA? It'll tell me the commands because honestly, like this is the one that I have such a hard time with because I never remember this. Okay, inspection. I was almost there. Default. Hmm. Okay, well, let me just pull up that box again. Class inspection. Question mark. Class inspection default. Question mark. Uh, Question mark. We're looking for inspect. As I hope you don't mind me cheating. And carriage return. All right, so that should enable ICMP on my ASA device. Okay, so from here, I'm going to say write, then I'm going to exit. Now, I also, in order for, I'm not quite finished yet because if I were to try to ping now, this 192.168. What is the computer is dot 2.2 will, if I was trying to ping, let's say this router here, it will go to the switch, to the ASA, then it will be dropped because this interface and every interface connected to the ISP is public, and this private IP address will not be routable via the public interface. So we need to configure NAT. So our private IP address becomes public here, and then back to being private. So how do we do that? we're going to configure a version of NAT called PAT, which basically says this in order if I will speak something out here, 192.168.2.2, which is this Ubuntu device, the message will go here to the switch to the ASA device. The ASA device will be like, okay, I know your IP is this one, but I'm going to give you the outside interface IP 173.16.2.2. And while you're outside the network, that's going to be your IP to traverse the internet. Then when you come back, I will give you back your private IP address and you will take the message with you. That's basically that in a nutshell. Let's go ahead and figure that. Yeah, sorry guys, I can never remember that policy map. Man, I always mess that one up. All right, but okay, to configure cat, I want to say object network. Uh, let's say let's specify. Actually, let's see question mark. Okay, let's give it a name. Local LAN subnet and this network VLAN 20 is IP network. There we go. And then from inside of this configuration, we'll say NAT question mark. We want to choose the first one. And we'll type in inside outside question mark. We'll say source. No, sorry. We're using PAT. So we'll say dynamic interface. Uh-oh, I misspelled something. Let's just do that again. NAT inside outside question mark dynamic interface. There we go. I can say show NAT. Okay, we got, okay, perfect. That's what we want to see. And there's also another command show x latte. And if I do a ping now from this Ubuntu device to this router, it should work. And we'll see this will probably change too. So let's just test out connectivity now. I'm gonna open my Ubuntu device. Let's try pinging things now. Okay, let's start off with our default gateway. Because if you can't ping the default gateway, you're not getting anywhere. 2.1. Perfect. That's what we want to see. Let's try to ping. Okay, let's go for a stretch here. Let's try to ping this router. Oh, we're not playing. Oh, that sounds good. That's not what we're doing right now. 173.16.1.1. Okay, so pings works. Our connectivity's good. Let's just take a look also at the console of the ASA. And I'm gonna try that. While that, so Ubuntu pings keep going. They don't actually stop unless you specify it to stop. Then we can see once I use that show X, guys, correct me if I'm using this wrong. X latte, I don't know. It sounds like a coffee to me. But yeah, now we can see exactly what Pat's doing. And I can say show NAT. Look, all about it's translating all of our pings to the outside interface. But yeah, that's basic configuration setup of the ASA device on an internal network, and also how we would configure it so an inside device can communicate over the internet. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video wasn't too boring. All right, bye.